Our work was really to look back at the practices and the policies that are currently in place at Wake Forest, and to really think about how can we identify places where we can make recommendations that in their implementation would move us closer to being the inclusive community that we want to be and that we really can be.
We knew that this report had to represent as many voices as possible because it was going to be such a heavy lift. To not only look back into our history, but also to assess our present and figure out a way where we want to, a direction we want to be in, a place where we want to be as a community.
So we had 30 members on the commission itself. There were 10 students, 10 faculty members, and 10 members of the staff. We also had some ex officio members, one of whom was a member of the Board of Trustees. And so we were able to have a wide variety across the university of voices, people with particular perspectives and expertise, and experiences that they could bring to the conversation.
It's been extremely insightful. It's also been challenging. We've had to deal with a lot of questions about who we are as an institution and grappling with how we find ourselves as a top 30 school, but also a school that we know can do better for some of our underrepresented communities.
So we have 20 recommendations that range from big picture things in terms of things like financial aid to on the ground kinds of recommendations about how we maintain accountability, how we think about diversifying the curriculum, how we think about who we bring into the university in terms of recruitment, and how we make them feel included.
Those are objectives that we know we need to work on today, tomorrow, and for a long time. There aren't one or two different ways of getting at what these complicated and complex issues are. And so we understand that some folks may be frustrated that there isn't an easy next step. But I think the folks who really understand this work and how important and how layered it must be will also understand that none of these solutions are supposed to be doable in the next 2 to 3 weeks or in a very short amount of time.
One of the things that I'm really aware of in this moment of national attention to these questions of race and racism and how it plays out systemically and institutionally and socially is that it might be easy for some people to say, this is just a report. What difference is this going to make? And I hear that question. I understand that. And I just am convinced that it's not simply words, that this is really an opportunity for us to take all of the passion and the commitment and the understanding that's coming out of this moment in our country and really begin to do the work on the ground in our community. These recommendations are going to give us a chance to really put our values into action, to really embody the things that we say are important to us.
Erica and I know that there's no way we could have accomplished this work without the students, the staff, and the faculty. These folks really poured not only their expertise, but also their passion and their commitment to making Wake Forest a better community. The conversations we had, the discussions we had were not easy. The decisions and conclusions we reached were not trivial, nor were they easy to arrive at.
I am so grateful to all of the members of the commission who put in so much work over this last year and who really brought commitment and passion and thoughtfulness to all that we did. And it was really an honor and a pleasure to work with all of them.
When folks, regardless of perspectives or opinions, come together to work on something as important as equity, inclusion, and community, we can get the job done.